Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, the Marx Santa Fe 1095 is finished, except for a few minor details. Anyway, the new motor is installed, the coupler is installed, the headlight is installed, and this old junk locomotive, just assembled out of junk parts, is running just absolutely splendidly. So I still have a few things to do. I've modified the mounting a bit. So tomorrow I need to add one small washer under this nut. And you can see it's sitting a bit lower than it was. So I need to finish that off so it's nice and flush. But other than that, it's up and running. So I'm going to let the epoxy cure overnight. And then tomorrow I'll finish it up. It's far from perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. It has the incorrect motor that's been modified to fit the shell, but the nice thing about it, of course, is the fact that it's running. It's pulling 10 Lionel cars with no problem, so I thought I'd do a quick video so you could see the finished result. Well, almost finished result, anyway. So the new motor, modified, new coupler, and the headlight is installed and working. Pulling 10 Lionel cars from a dead stop with no problem at all. That's 40% power. So plenty of power in that motor. As you see, that's running just absolutely perfectly. Good constant speed all the way around the track, plenty of power, good bright headlight, tab and slot coupler, modified motor. This locomotive is made completely out of junk parts. Is it correct? Nope. Sure isn't. But it's running. It's running absolutely splendidly, as you can see. You could not ask this to run better than this, regardless of what motor was in it. This is running just absolutely perfectly. In fact, we can turn it down a bit. That's 40% power. So let's turn it down to 30%. All right, there's about 30% power. We can turn it down even more, I think. As you see, and it's still just running absolutely splendidly. Good constant speed all the way around the rail. Good bright headlight. Tab and slot coupler. Like I said, made completely out of junk. Anyway, it was a fun project. It's been raining here. It's going to rain all night tonight, all day tomorrow. So it was a good way to spend some time and do this experiment. So I got the full refund on those two Santa Fe locomotives that I bought. So I had absolutely nothing to lose by doing this experiment. So the entire thing is finished, that being a relative term. Always something else you could do to it. But anyway, tomorrow I will finish up the mount for that motor. And in the meantime, I have the satisfaction of just kicking back and watching this old locomotive run. A Marx Santa Fe 1095 made completely out of junk parts. So, far from perfect, but it sure is running well, as you can see. And I add a traction tire, and this will probably pull twice the load it's pulling now. And this thing's just running absolutely splendidly. You could not ask it to run better than that. So a few hours work, a lot of modification to the motor, actually to the wheels themselves. Figured out a way to mount it, and just got the headlight hooked up and installed that tab and slot coupler. So it was a great project for a rainy Saturday. It was a lot of fun to do this. And like I said, this is the gratifying part. When it's finished, putting it on the rail and watching it run. So I'll run this the next day or so. I don't anticipate any bugs developing. Finish it up, and like I said, if I could find a way to cover those wheels, you would never know that that motor has been transplanted. So a Marx standard double reduction motor out of a steam locomotive, retrofitted into this 1095 shell and it's running just absolutely splendidly. You couldn't ask it to run better. Anyway, it was a fun project that worked. A great experiment. Had a good time doing this tonight. Gave me something to do. Like I said, a rainy Saturday, and this old locomotive is up and running. So it's far from perfect, but it's running really, really well. It was a lot of fun to do it, really gratifying to piece something together out of a bunch of junk parts. Believe me, this is about as junk as you can get. This thing was just absolutely trash when it got here. Most people would have thrown this in the trash can. So I bought it on eBay, 2 of them, for $1.25, and one of them got smashed in shipping. So I contacted the guy and told him I wanted my money back, and he didn't even complain. He said, send me some photos. I did. He refunded my money today, so it was free. He even refunded the shipping. So nothing wrong with that. So a few hours work, and this locomotive is up and running. It was a fun, gratifying experiment. Had a good time doing this. The best part, of course, is the fact that it's pulling 10 Lionel cars, now at 30% power. Really difficult to beat that. As you can see, that's running just absolutely perfectly. So I'm pleased with it. Always fun to do an experiment and have it come out with this result. This thing's running just splendidly. And with that tab and slot coupler, I can couple it to Lionel using the transition car. I can throw it on the Marx consist. And of course, you can loosen that nut and actually turn the motor around and run it backwards. Or I could just install the switch and put a manual E unit in it. Whether I'm going to go to all that trouble, I have no idea. I mean, it's never going to be correct. But the thing is, it's an old junk locomotive with a new motor, and it is running just absolutely perfectly. So a fun project for a rainy Saturday with a really, really spectacular result. This thing's running just absolutely splendidly. Again, at 30% power, pulling 10 Lionel cars. Really difficult to beat that, with no matter what motor is in it. Anyway, I just want to do a follow-up video. It was a lot of fun. It worked. It came out nice. Good bright headlight. Couplers installed. And the only thing left to do is I modified the mount a bit. I'm going to file this off tomorrow. I'm going to add one small washer under it, and it will be complete. Is it perfect? Nope. Is it original? Nope, not that either. But it's running. That's the neat thing. And it's pulling 10 Lionel cars at 30% power. Really difficult to beat that. So a quick follow-up on the Marx 1095 with the retrofitted motor. A lot of fun to do this. So in any case, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.